I am going to call this meeting to order at 7:09 p.m. on November 11th, 2019. We are here for our Board of Education public hearing for Impact Aid. Could we please have a roll call, Linda? Here.
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 Welcome from the board president, myself. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening to our annual Impact Aid hearing. For those that may not know, Impact Aid is federal funding that is provided to our school district for a substantial and continuing financial burden resulting from federal activities. These activities include federal ownership of certain lands, the enrollment of children whose parents work or live on federal property, and children living on Indian lands. The federal government provides compensation because our district is unable to collect property or other taxes from these individuals or their employers. Thus, Impact Aid is intended to compensate our district in part for the resulting loss of tax revenue. This hearing is required by federal law, and this evening is an opportunity for the communities and district staff to share all the wonderful programming happening in our school that support equal educational opportunities in the cultures of our district. The community is encouraged to share with the administration and Board of Education their feedback and ideas on programming and activities. We wish for your attendance at the hearing, and I look forward to working together for the best educational opportunities for our children. An introduction to our materials this evening. There is a packet provided at the door over there for everyone, and we're going to turn it over to our district administrator, Jeff, to go over the materials this evening.
All right, well, thank you. So in the packet you received, it's a culmination of a lot of work that's been done in the last couple of weeks by our staff who are in attendance tonight. And so what I'll do is I'll go through the table of contents with everyone, including the audience. And as we go through them, if you have questions with some of the individuals who put this together tonight, we'll go through that. And then we'll roll from there. So if I can just go off with the Impact Aid background on page 1, Nicole pretty much stated by definition what it is. So it's, it's the purpose of the Impact Aid is to provide formula grants to school districts in lieu of tax revenues that are not available because of non-taxable federal land installations. So pretty self-explanatory from there. And I think everybody in the audience is familiar with Impact Aid. I don't see anybody in the audience who's not. But in terms of the table of contents, we have student learning with Impact Aid. We have the collaboration, meaning of the funds that Impact Aid provides the district. Impact Aid here at agenda. We have our policy 811, Native American parent involvement. The board took action on that in the previous meeting. That's a yearly action item, an annual review. Public Law 81874, 13. Native American Culture, Concepts, Activities, page 14. We have Director of Pupil Services, Special Education Report. Every year there are special ed numbers in there for the board and public to see. We have discipline data in there. And keep in mind, a couple years ago, we had a parent request under comments to add bullying. So we have bullying information in there. Homeschool coordinator report, who's in the audience tonight. If you have any questions regarding the homeschool coordinator report. Then we have, of course, the district budget, 19 through 20 this school year. Our finance managers here also to talk about the budget and comparable cost. Any questions on the table of contents at all? Okay. Page 2, Impact Aid revenue received in 2018-19 school year. Randy is in the audience tonight. We had excess revenues that we thought, in terms of budgeting that came through. I think that had to do with the payment that came through for previous years, Randy, is that correct? this past year's funding? Yeah. Which we know this year that won't happen, but it did happen last year. So we budgeted conservatively on this year's budget. 5, yeah. All right. Any questions for Randy at this time?
Like final payment after June 30th, or?
No, right, after June 30th, so it was in September.
But it was for the
Revised final.
Okay.
Page 3 and 4, we have supportive learning with impact aid. We also have page 4 collaboration throughout the district, what we see as funds in the collaboration effort. Page 3, supporting learning with impact aid. We have curriculum resource materials, monies used for transportation, technology, special education, summer school, professional development, and staffing. Collaboration, wide range of excellent hands-on learning opportunities for Bayfield students took place in the Rucklin community. We have high school alternative education. Mr. Erickson's here tonight. High school alternative education class with personnel from the Rucklin Natural Resources Department on the Pine Martin project taking place in Rucklin. Trail cameras, watch over Martin Den boxes. Middle school, high school drum groups, and currently in process to continue the monthly intercultural professional development sessions facilitated by Rucklin personnel. This will help to build intercultural aptitude for Bayfield staff. We're looking to do more Rucklin visits like we used to. We reached out to the Rucklin Clinic a couple weeks back to work with their pharmacy to get our staff introduced in using the clinic more often. Our clinic is a network with Essential Health, so we're looking to do more. I guess we used to do it once a month, having cultural activities, we called it, and have a department or so from Rucklin to come down to talk to our staff. Any questions on 3 and 4? Page 3 and 4. Page 5 is the agenda. Page 6 we went over in the previous meeting policy. Board adopted that annual adoption. Went through that with possible changes that Cindy brought forward. Public Law 81874 on page 13. Don't want to recite that, but I think we can go through that. This is an interesting and actually a pretty cool document on page 15. We started this some years back, and what we do is we have all the teachers, K-12, they go through their curriculum, and they identify what Native American culture, concepts, activities that they incorporated within their classroom for themselves. So all the teachers will yearly give us updates on what they do in terms of incorporating this into their classroom. I think it's a pretty cool document. When we share this with other schools, they think it's pretty cool. questions on curriculum that's within the K-12 structure? Our principals are here. Mr. Erickson's here. All right, moving along, page 23, Director of Pupil Services Special Ed Report. This is a report we hand out every year. It provides the board and community members with data that represents the special ed services within the education department. And the numbers are there.
There's some questions.
Yep.
Sorry, before we jump past curriculum.
Sure.
Because I'm just getting to see this. Who teaches middle school Oakland?
Jeff Tooney.
Mr. Tooney.
And they're in the middle school alt-ed, talking about the controversies of Native American mascots. And
Yeah, I just have to
he's
get,
teaching that?
can I get the page real quick? Yep. He put this in there.
Yeah, page 17, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just wanna make sure we're on the same page. Sounds like we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot.
All right, anything else on the curriculum? Or move on to special ed, Director of Special Ed, Pupil Services. These are the numbers. Current special ed program. And also discusses meetings, staff training, which is professional development on page 24, and collaboration.
What's significant developmental delay? I see there's 24 students.
That's for our younger students, that's typically more of the ECC, early childhood through age 9. Showing delays in their milestones. So it's our youngest student population. By
And-
age 10, we have to do a reroute, and then a new identification student is from age 10.
Is this seen at the ECC as well? This is a trend, or is it because they're coming into another building, or?
This is a trend that we see come from ECC. It's part of pinpointing emotional behavioral disorder within early childhood students. So typically when identified as significant developmental delay, just
All right.
their age.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I have a question. Missy, have you been able to do any follow-up on conscious discipline training from the one that was done last year? Or the, no.
We have not, unfortunately. It's something we'll definitely look into, but cost is something that needs to be looked at and funding needs to be set aside.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps you and I could talk sometime, because there's some things that I put in place at Head Start that it would be real easy to do, and we just termed best practice, you know, so it wasn't under the auspices of this is conscious, but it was best practice, practices that were taken from that were beneficial and fit into that. So be happy to do that sometime.
Any more comments on the Director of Pupil Services, page 23 and 24? We'll go to page 25. This is, we have discipline data. And a couple years ago, we added the bullying referrals. That came in from a parent who asked that we do that. And Ms. Swanson, Shelley's in the audience, if you have any questions regarding page 25 and 26.
It seems that we have an increase in out-of-school suspension. At the same time, we're tracking a decrease, significant decrease in bullying referrals. That seems,
if I could have, charted it a little bit, you could see some of them were like the expulsion. There were 15 OSS waiting for the expulsion hearing, so that was one student out of school for a violent incident on the middle school. And then in the high school, there were 8 students, 10 different incidents, but 2 of them were over 10 OSS days waiting for a manifestation hearing. So the numbers are higher, but the incidents aren't so much bullying, peer-to-peer bullying.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
There weren't so much bullying, peer-to-peer issues as violent physical incidents with staff.
How do we find a way to make it not an out-of-school suspension when they're
Right.
waiting for either an IEP or something else? Because we're making all these accommodations for attendance absences, and it just seems like that should maybe fall into the same realm.
Speed up the process.
I don't, or do something, because those are obviously absences from school as well, right? They're being categorized as an excused absence. I don't know, just, those are a lot of absences to
Yeah.
take a hit on our district,
Yeah.
because they're equal to suspensions equals absence.
And I do know one of them, one of the high school incidents was a alcohol and drug-related incident, and the student ended up leaving us for a treatment facility / school, but that wasn't until after mom served out the OSS and then contacted us. So I don't know if there's a way to backdate some of that when they don't return to our school. That was like for expulsion was 15 days OSS, and then the expulsion went through, and so the student left their school district, and she was still sitting on those 15 days punching
Oh.
against us. And I don't know if you
So-
ever want to speed up that process, because you really have to have your ducks in a row to move forward with that. I don't have the answer for that. But I agree.
I thought that we were moving away from, you know, out-of-school suspensions as much as possible.
We were, and we are still.
We are still.
These incidents were
35.
beyond the behavior modification and
Okay.
what the incidents.
Hmm.
Where do we
You
put
take
them
off
if
them-
they're in school?
Yeah.
Well,
Is that?
Where do we put the students if they're,
35
obviously, if they're out of school for a suspension, they did something that the staff felt they should be in the building. So, okay, we keep them in the building, what do we do with them?
15 days waiting.
Right.
And
So
who,
have it in
and who looks after them?
Right. Some of the students that have IEPs, we change their program to self-contained versus in classrooms. Because that was part of the issue. Some of it was violent situations where it was harming others. And so, you know, we don't want to promote self-contained. However, in those situations,
You
it
have-
was appropriate for an extended period of time. We often have reviews more often to talk about progress and the gains students are making to gradually get them back into a inclusive environment, but sometimes it's more of a containment. Not always, not all these students that particularly pertain to, but some did, for sure. And I'll say this year, those students are doing completely different. They have been in their regular classrooms the entire time of this year, so we haven't had any issues.
And it's hopeful, you know, doing the traumatic or trauma-informed material, information and practices that you're starting, yeah.
That's the push for it is, we were identified as being disproportionate, so part of that is to implement those trauma-sensitive practices, like the back for students and being more proactive in how we're dealing with things and giving teachers and all staff the same tools.
Yeah.
take that back to our ETAL group to see what their thoughts or feedback or ideas may be on maybe taking the attendance approach on it in conjunction with what Shelley shared. Cause that's 35 absences. That's a lot. I don't know how they can code it or whatever you guys can figure out to have it not be so significant.
Well, 25, we talked about the discipline data. Any thoughts on the bullying referrals? They seem to go down a whole lot.
No, that's just the referrals, right?
Yeah, those are the PBIS referrals at the classroom level, teacher level.
It's quite an improvement.
All right, well, we'll move on. Our homeschool coordinator report, Annie's in the audience. These are her quarterly reports. I believe there's 4 of them a year. And she provides grades, percentage of grades. She also provides attendance, I believe, combined attendance. And every quarter she'll turn this into administrators. And it gives us a picture of our students in each particular subject area at the high school, and how many D's, F's, and who's, how many we're concerned about, and what we can focus on.
I have a question, just because you're probably really submerged in the data with your other efforts. Is there a time of year that you see more absence than other?
Depending on the grade level, I think that we get, during the cold flu season, there's always an upsurge in absences in general. In high school, I can tell you that, I would say second semester is bigger, primarily for our seniors. I haven't looked at it closely enough to give me a full indicator. One student sometimes can skew the whole picture, unfortunately. We're paying attention to the report card that Mr. Ward was talking about. Doing more about tomorrow. Right now, as we're looking at kids, because we look to have the students not have any more than 28 days in the whole school year. We've got a couple of kids that have surpassed that as we speak already. In high
In
school.
November.
For the year?
Excuse me?
For the year so far.
Right
September to
beyond
November.
28 now in 41 days of school.
There should be 8 per quarter max, and we're at a limit already.
Okay.
Because chronic absence is considered 10%, right? Anything over,
13%, I
Thir-
think they said last
So
time.
you take 13% of your student body, each grade level, and you don't want them to have more than 16% absences. So anybody who's got 60% absence or more, we kind of track them a little bit.
their chronic absence.
Right now, we've already got 2 kids in the high school that we know are, part of our group. And I think there's only 14 in high school by the time everything is in. I think we can only have 14, so now we're already down to 12.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
if we stay within that, we won't lose points.
And Annie, those aren't illness, I mean, you're not seeing that the ones that are 28 or so are not due to some illness generally.
Not due to him. Well, kind of, could be, I mean.
Okay. Not a flu.
Correct.
Okay. There you go. Thank you.
Moving along, we are at page 45. We're on the district budget. This is, Randy's here if you have any questions regarding district budget, the corrections we're going to
I
first.
have another question.
Oh, go ahead, go back. Yeah.
So, I think we've talked about this before at the board level in terms of maybe getting some data related to attendance and absences a little more frequently than just once a year. And like what I just asked Danny about, like what are the trends, what are the absence reasons? Because we don't see that. We only hear it frequently, or hear it when it comes up in trend. But if we can get some information regularly so that we are seeing the information, it helps to make informed decisions.
So under what format, because the ETLs attempts to meet every Friday, and I will print out a full page from attendance, and what we do is we list out then for each of the grades, how many students are at, okay, so if it's 41 days for first quarter, we do times 16%, so that's like anybody who has 6.5 or 7 days absence. I can't remember the exact numbers right now, but all of those students are listed, their grade, their name, and how many absences they have as of that date. And we try to do that weekly. So it would be pretty easy to give you some numbers.
Yeah.
We wouldn't give you the student name, but we could give you
Like a monthly
numbers.
report, if we can just have a cumulative monthly type
Yeah.
of regular, ongoing.
But easily, that's.
Yeah, nothing
So
that
you collect it
inconveniences
anyway, yeah.
anyone, just like what you guys are saying.
Yep.
Could we incorporate,
Easily do that.
could we incorporate that into Shelley's report at the high school as an attendance report?
Well, it's a K-12. I mean, we're gonna want K-12,
K-12.
but
And Missy's.
even 4K
Yep. Yep.
would be helpful as well. We talked about that, when we did the quarterly recognitions for attendance to include 4K kiddos. Sorry, thanks.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, we used to give
I'm still way back here.
we,
But I'm getting there.
we always gave attendance monthly reports in the past.
Does the,
We'll just add that one to it.
does the 4K take effect now into the attendance at the Bayfield school level for a report card?
I don't think so.
No?
We talked
Does
about
it-
that before.
No? Okay.
They're off-site.
Right.
Not yet.
Moving along. We'll conclude with 45 and 46. Any questions for Randy? This is basically the district budget. And on page 47, she does a nice chart of where all the monies, pie chart in terms of where they go with instruction, people, staff, admin, operations, transportation. Gives you a nice perspective on breakdown of where our money goes.
I just noticed I see that's $24,300 per student. That's an awful pile of money per student. I mean, if you look at the state averages, that is a lot of money being spent per student.
Yeah.
And like I always say, my fear is as our costs keep inflating, we are at a levy cap. I mean, how are we gonna continue at this rate?
That really has to go back to our FTEs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're number 2 in the state for 17, 18. Highest cost per student. We don't want to get the one that was there. We're both. Highest cost per pupil in the state.
Yeah, Craig, Randy and I just talked recently about, we're gonna go through Baird to get another forecast. We did that back in 2012 or 13, I believe it was. We had a 5-year forecast. And most recently, probably 13, 14 or something.
We did
Last year, yep.
yeah.
So, was it a 5-year or, I can't remember if it was 5-year, but,
Five-year projection
yeah.
for attendance.
Yeah,
for
so,
fees, but we haven't.
yeah, we're gonna concentrate on this right here, what you just brought up. If we could sustain, through the max levy, this rate, based on our current attendance, or I'm sorry, enrollment, not attendance, but enrollment.
No one likes to talk about finances when it comes to education because no one wants to overshadow that. But when you run out of money, the first people that suffer are our students. And that's been my fear since I got on this board. For almost 9 years now, we're looking at this increase, and our monies that we are receiving are not keeping up with the times. And I have a fear of a crash coming in the near future, and it's makes me extremely nervous. I think the board's done a great job being fiscally responsible, but the cost of everything is increasing every year.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping to have the budget process start earlier this year. Last year, we did it in January, February, so hopefully next month, we'll start that process again, so. That concludes the document in front of you. My report.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Or are there
I
any
think there's,
questions?
Yeah. Is there any public comment, input, feedback? Jared?
Yeah, I have one quick suggestions. It has been out there for the public to come use it for our suits, our accounts, and Bayfield School, and Franklin. And as we see now, one of our parents are here. One thing though, is it going to make this information more digestible and put out more in public states? Because listen, I'm going to, people aren't really have to explain it very well. And I'm not sure how this would be easier at the end of a 47-page thing, but, I think for the colleges and things, so people get a good view of about the school. That like 3-4 page part where it's in all the different Native American folks activities for every level, that's something that should be pushed out there. More of our families have that pride for. And when, people, parents are asking about, hey, how many are getting separate attention, how much suspension is in, having that data too, knowing what that is. And I know this information is out there, if people are looking for it, but I'm not sure how easy it would be if someone were just like, I don't want to say throw it on Facebook, I guess that would be the option there, because just a little about it. This is some really good stuff, it's not that I think parents would love to know, good and bad about the school. So more information, the better, still when you got there, know what we're talking about.
Thanks, Jared.
I would think even the activities, that are happening in all the grade levels would be something good to have on our Facebook, on our school account that people could see, what are the special events that, that Bayfield's offering its students as part of its serving, Native American and, other cultures. That would be something that would be good to have more public knowledge of.
Yeah, they had some different ideas in the strategic planning sessions for communication, and as we can see from the materials Shelley provided, that the staff is asking for that as well, in terms of communication. So, I think one thing to point out though that's different that I think has been really instrumental in getting materials out is board docs. So the school district using board docs now provides all these materials that we get every month as a board online, available to anyone, anytime. That's new and that's big. That's a lot of information every month that is available and that you don't really have to go digging for because it's really super user friendly. But also that parents are encouraged to give feedback, input, and anything to the school district at any time. And really, it's all the time that we're making decisions on behalf of kids and spending money and doing that all. Thanks, Jared. Nothing else? We can adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Glenn to adjourn, second by Craig. At 7:45 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Go see those doctors up at St.